All right. Make sure everything's up because that just came out of nowhere, y'all. That was wild. Um, Hello and hello. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. I don't know what the heck happened, but this is part two. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened here, but somehow we got kicked off. I don't know what for whatever reason, but we're back. It must have been a glitch or something that just came out of nowhere, y'all. Wow. Wow, that sucks. We were doing so good. We were doing so well, but we are back. We're back. I'm going to send the link here down below for those of y'all who want to hop on. I know that Mr. Behavior and Laura were still here, but the link is down below. Dag nabbit. Man, that pisses me off. But hey, it's all good. I see y'all coming back in. I don't know how the feed just suddenly just went bye-bye, but it really just did that ish to me. But we're back. We're back. Everything's cool. Dag nabbit. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, man. Okay. But we're back at it. I don't even remember what we were talking about because it suddenly just disappeared on my ass.
Mr. Behavior was going to go.
Yes.
Next.
Thank you. Let me just get everything up and going here on the back end here real quick, and then we'll get going here. Because I was loving the conversation that we were all having. I just don't know why that suddenly just did all that ish to my ass because we were just talking like a mug and it was going good. So hopefully we have hold on. We got Mr. Behavior back. And Laura Estrada, if you're still on and you want to jump back on, you're more than welcome. And also anybody else who's interested in talking and being a part of the conversation, please jump on. Don't forget to hit that like button. Send those likes all the way up because now we're back on another one. I don't know what happened. Honest to God, I don't know what happened. Like it's not anything that I did on like YouTube ain't mad at me or anything of that sort. I don't know what it was. I think it just shut off out of nowhere for no reason. So send those likes if you can. It helps the algorithm. It helps the people who were just watching a second ago find us again and all that stuff. Okay. So as we were saying, Mr. Behavior, all right, is with us. We were just talking about like how the platforms that do exist, like Fresh and Fit, because they're not the only ones. I mean, you look at Kevin Samuels and all that. I'm not trying to throw any shade on Kevin Samuels. Okay, I'm not. Because I know there's a lot of people that are very diehard Kevin Samuel fans out here. But Aries 73 just said the technology gods are against you, Pascal. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They just suddenly they didn't like me talking about Abba and Preach and Fresh and Fit. But Kevin Samuels, same thing. He's being supported by that type of world as well. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys that out here that feel some type of way about how they should be treated as men and how women should be treated, so on and so forth. So there's a lot of people that feel the echo what these guys are saying on their platforms within this manosphere and all that. You know what I'm saying? But Mr. Behavior, let me hear your thoughts on all that we've talked about in the previous live that we just did a second ago.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you having me on. First off, thanks.
Anytime,
this is really cool. Also, I really like your purple background. You got a side for me from that. So check it out. So a couple of things. First is I really think it's interesting that Fresh and Fit, or at least Fit really more than anything, try to attack Abba and Preach, because Abba and Preach, I mean, at least Abba led me to Fresh and Fit. The first episode of Fresh and Fit I saw was because Abba was on it. And I've been following Abba for such a long time, and Preach for such a long time, that I wanted to see, like, what he did on somebody else's podcast and had an interesting conversation. Like I mentioned earlier in the super chat, was like, Abba kind of showed that those guys kind of can't stand on their word, because he came and brought the smoke and said, hey, you said this about me, like, you want to talk about it? And it became this weird kind of Porky Pig kind of stutter about it. Right. I thought that was a little strange. But you mentioned, I think you mentioned something about how Fit likes to bring a lot of statistics and things to the table. And I agree. I think that was one of the things that attracted me to them in the first place, was I was like, okay, so this guy has stats and data. But what I did notice is that there's not really that much conclusions to be drawn from it. And the reason why is because a lot of those guys, they kind of follow the template that was set up by Rollo Tomassi in The Rational Male. And in that book, even Rollo himself says, this is not a prescription, this is a description. And what you kind of do with that information is up to you. And I think that's kind of one of the main issues, is that they give a lot of descriptions, but they don't really give people anything to do about it. And it sort of leads into kind of what Laura was saying earlier, was like, it makes a lot of these guys a little bit angrier, because the problem with, I sort of subscribe to like a red pill philosophy, but I want to go the other way of it and not be angry about it, but like, okay, so this is what's happening. What do I do about it? And to me, that's what you're supposed to do, sort of as a man. I'm not saying that criticizing. I mean, I think a lot of people take it as criticizing women is such a bad thing. I think that criticizing what women are doing and criticizing what men are doing are completely warranted, but you need to be able to draw conclusions from that and then move forward in a positive light and not move forward in a negative light. And what I see a lot from Fresh and Fit is that they kind of keep their incel sort of groups sort of attached to that mentality by bringing the girls on, doing the OnlyFans thing, but at the same time telling us that we shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff. And I think it's sort of like making sure that there's a certain amount of people that stay angry so that they can continue to bring in money and fodder for themselves. That's just my take on the whole situation. I think it's a little strange.
I agree with you 100%, Mr. Behavior. I feel like when you said what you said earlier about the description, not a prescription, is definitely 110% true. I get it about, when it comes to doing debates, right? You go into a debate and you just throw out your facts, right? You throw out your statistics, you throw out your facts, but that doesn't mean that's the be all and end all. Doesn't mean that, okay, just
Right.
because 1 in 3 men do such and such and 5 in 7 women do such and such does not mean that is the criteria. That does not mean that is supposed to be life altogether. And I feel like when it comes to that world, it is very much a, man, I feel like it doesn't automatically mean that is the truth to every single person, right? I think that there's more to people's lives than just these statistics. And yes, there are women out here that are single, trying to find a good man, and there are men out here that are trying to find a good woman, or a person trying to find a good person. But I feel like when, if we're going to critique the way he approaches these conversations, I do feel like he just leans on these stats instead of actually having a conversation. And that's all he leans on. These are the truths. This is what's going on, so on and so forth. I make 6 figures. I got a 6-pack. I'm 6 foot tall, or I'm over 6 feet, and that's it. And it's like, no, there's more to you. You know what I mean? What if you're an ass? What if you are just a straight up ass? You could have all the money in the world, 6-pack, 6'2", and 6 figures. The 666 doesn't mean that you're a good person. What are you on the inside? And it's the same way that he does when it comes to these conversations. Instead of actually having a conversation with these girls or with his people that he has, he's just hurling out all this stuff, which can be very overwhelming, especially when you've had alcohol coursing through your veins at the same damn time. So you're going, oh my God, I didn't expect to walk into this kind of thing. Because he just came up to me at a club, and said, hey, you should be on my podcast. You see what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, you're just throwing all this stuff, and it's like, bruh.
Yeah. I mean, I think that statistics are important, right, in order to put things into context and to kind of show men, what is going on around them, right? Because let's be honest, like, the dating scene is relatively new. I mean, like, people didn't used to date. They would just kind of go up to each other. Like, a man would go up to a woman and say, hey, you're beautiful, I'm going to marry you. I mean, that's what happened to my grandmother. She told me that's exactly what my grandfather did to her, right? And it was, but this dating thing is a little new. And then we have the advent of, like, things like birth control and ways for women to kind of control their sexual, their bodies in different ways, and kind of created a different space. And that's totally fine to talk about and understand, like, how that affects intersexual dynamics. But the problem that I see is that there's no moving forward from that. It's kind of like, this is what's happening. You're probably going to get divorced. Don't mess with women. Don't do all these things because of XYZ. And it doesn't really show young men kind of how to navigate those spaces. I mean, it used to be that men would have to learn how to navigate the landscape. You want to think about like all the way back in the day, you'd have to figure out how to navigate the landscape so you didn't get killed, so that your wife and your family could be sustained. And that was the same thing all up until now. And now we're kind of seeing men stagnate a little bit and not try to navigate the new terrain. And I think that's really sad. And I think that kind of stuff kind of enforces that, right? It's like, here's the problem, and you can't do anything about it, sort of mentality. But
yeah, I think that, like I said, I think that there needs to be certain levels, right? And certain conversations that are thrown out onto the podcast table or out onto the table that should be more open for free thought, more open for an open discussion, rather than it just being these are my thoughts, this is how I say it, and this blah, blah, blah. And if you don't agree with it, get the F out. I'm going to Frank Castle your ass.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? There's more to these conversations. And also it's like, here it is for somebody, like, let's just say you got somebody who is, let's say you got some girls on, right? And you're having this conversation with these girls. They have opposing views on things because they're free thinking women, and they are allowed to have their own opinions. And we live in a modern society now where things are different than what they were in the damn 60s. And you are going and you're spouting out all these statistics. And just because the person, whether it's a girl or woman or man, opposes that opinion, that does not automatically mean that you should shut them down just because they have their own opinion. I mean, this is just what I think about all that too. I mean, this is why like this platform exists. This is why we talk about a lot of different topics on this channel, on this platform. We have people from all different walks of life that come onto this show talking about all kinds of different things other than just Republican, Democrat, CRT, Rona, etc. We open up the conversation to everyone to have to have their opposing ideas, so that we can talk, because there might be somebody out there that needs to hear that opposing opinion, or they need to just hear the opinion of somebody from me or T or David, or Brion. You know what I mean? Just so that they open their minds a little bit more. This is the reason why we have these platforms. But when I see how Fresh and Fit conduct their stuff, and I've said it before on the show, I did a whole video about them kicking two black women out, and the women reacted not in the greatest way, but how they reacted to it was what was disgusting to me more than anything, more than how the girls were reacting about being kicked out. They pulled out all their cameras. They're sitting there doing all this, that, and the third. They're going, oh my God, this is going to be great. Look how many views we got on this video, so on and so forth. So for me, I'm like, are you bringing value to your show? You say you're a high value man, and you're saying you're trying to change people's lives, but are you really bringing value to the show? Or is this just a circus sideshow where you're scooping up a bag real quick? A couple bags, because they make some really good money on that channel, Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to throw it over to Sidecar Tommy's in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, family?
What's up, man? So what are your thoughts on this whole conversation, man?
I get triggered by this whole manosphere stuff, and I'm going to be honest.
I feel you.
Speak
on it.
It upsets me. It's like working backwards, especially now with all the stuff that we're dealing with. I mean, I'm a musician. I've had to completely reinvent my whole reality the last 19 months, 18 months, however long it's been. And to listen to someone talk about value as in money or like what your job is or something, it just is degrading. I think it's degrading to everyone at this time, because if you're on top, you should be helping out. You shouldn't be hurting people, And it just upsets me. I just get upset because their only real excuse is like, I'm a man. It's like, good, congratulations. Like, I don't understand it.
It's like I got a penis. It's like,
yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations. Here it is, though. Here it is. Like, there's nothing wrong with. I do believe like there's nothing wrong with being, proud of being a man or having certain values. Like, hey, to each their own. We all have our own things that we like and don't like, right? We all have our own things, and we all march to the beat of our own little drummer boy. Real talk, we do. But at the same time, like, not every single person is going to run the same way. Not every single person is going to be or react and live life the same way you might want to live.
Thank God.
Like when you see somebody out here who is just too busy flexing the money they got or the rides that they have or don't have, because God, my prediction is half of those fast cars that they drive in are just rentals. But that's another conversation in itself. But it's all about showing off it's all about exposure. It's all about flossing. It's all about flexing. It's all about showboating. They live in Miami, where it is all about, the glitz and glamour, and it's all about being flashy, just like it's kind of like LA. LA is the same way. It's all about what car you drive, what kind of money you got in your bank account, so on and so forth. And once at some point, you're going to hit a wall. In my personal opinion, you're going to hit a wall and go, what is all this for? What is this? What is this? Am I bringing worth to even my own life if I'm just so busy smashing vacant women and driving cars, gas guzzlers, you know what I mean, that I probably can't even afford if I really did own this car. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being real. Like, like I said, I'm not rich. I'm not that guy. I am not. You know what I mean? I will be, dag nabbit. But at the same time, like, I'm working my balls off to get to that place. But you won't see me. I take that back. I will have an Aston Martin. That's the only thing I'm going to have. I'm not a gang of cars and stuff just so I can smash. I'm in love. I'm happy. I don't need those spoils. You know what I'm saying? It's a waste of time. I'm not trying to run after low hanging fruit, that are after me just because I have a car, like a nice car. Man, I got better things to do with my money and my time. I look at this whole thing as like, well, the only way I can get through it without pissing myself off is to just be like, okay, it's opposite day. Everything they're saying, I'm going to process in the opposite of what it is, and then maybe I'll be okay. It just seems like whatever. I mean, I thought we were over this whole like, let's make fun of people just because for the hardest things they're going through, or like the most obvious things they're going through. It's like, where is that constructivity? Like, why? How does that translate into propping someone up and helping someone out and supporting people? That's to me is just a basic difference where it splits off and says, I'm this type of person and this person must be this type of person. And that sucks. Like, why do you want to put yourself in a box? Facts.
Like there's enough boxes already, man. We're trying to unwrap the boxes and get some gifts going. Right. And that's how I feel. I think it's really disrespectful to say anything about someone's wife, mom, family, home country. Like, yeah, I think that's just so bottom feeder. And if that's alpha, I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's real quick. Let me do this real quick. We have a super chat, so I want to say this, Mr. Behavior. Thank you so much, first off, for being on, Mr. Behavior. I really do appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said got to go back to work, but I'll come back another time with video. That's dope. Thanks for having me on. We appreciate you coming on and just chopping it up, throwing in your 2 cents. You know what I mean? We do really appreciate it. But I'll say this, like, I think that I feel like every person, like when they say, oh, this is what an alpha does, bruh, suddenly there's a criteria of what an alpha does. Like, so wait, from what I've seen, like, let's take it and make it the most basic of it all. I feel like I'm alpha. I do feel that. I feel like T is alpha. Shoot, I feel like Sidecar Tommy is alpha. But let me ask you something. Do y'all go hunting? Do y'all go bow hunting? Do you go out and kill your own your food for the day?
No.
Okay. Do you go out on the top of a mountain and bang on your chest and go, ah! Do you do that?
No, I sit in my studio and bang on my drums.
Facts. Okay. That's very alpha because it's tribal. Those beats. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So
no, for sure.
Just because you got a nice car or you have 6 figures, suddenly that means you're alpha. I've seen dudes who have no money still be quote unquote alpha. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about bravado and throwing fists and making 6 figures and having a 6-pack. That does not make you alpha. I've seen some beta ass mother lovers have all the money in the world. You know what I'm saying? All the money in the world.
I guess to me, it's like it comes back to that whole binary conversation. It's not this or that. There's something in between. I don't know why we're also trying to just be black or white, right? And it's like if you start to think like that, and then everything on the other side is just a pain in the butt. And it's like, I don't know. I don't understand the attraction to that, because like the three of us, you said, the three of us might be alphas, but like the three of us are so uniquely different from each other in so many ways, but yet we can discuss things and we can talk about stuff. We can agree, we can disagree. I'm not going to come up on here and start talking ish about you guys.
Right.
Ever. Like I respect you. And that is where this all comes from. It's like, if you don't have that baseline of respect, because that's what's attractive, I think what makes someone attractive is the baseline of respect, and then flowing with life and taking things on as they come and saying, I'm going to work hard on what I love. I'm going to be passionate about what I love. And that's going to take me through, I mean, I learned a really hard lesson in my life. Like I'm a musician. I toured the world playing music, playing shows, doing my thing. And I let it get to me at first. And I really was lost and didn't know what to do. I thought I did. And then I would hear from some close friends and they'd be like, chill out, dude. It's cool that you're doing well, but there's also plenty of people who are doing much better than you.
Facts.
And humble yourself, because if you do, you can actually, give help to other people and give support to other people. And that's a better way of life. And, I did not miss that part. And I listened to my friends when they told me that stuff. And I realigned myself with, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? How can I do it better? And how can I support the people around me who are struggling, so that when I'm struggling, they might support me, instead of saying, well, that guy Tommy was a real jerk. Now I'm not going to help him out or whatever, or just even be there. And I just think it's not a this or that. It's a find your place in between and support as much as you can. To me, that's not alpha or beta. That's just human in these days, to me personally.
No, and that makes total sense. You know what I mean? Like I think that when we go into when we're leaning on just labels, we live in such a different world now.
I don't want to be in that world.
Things are great. Yeah. And I don't want to live in that world either. I mean, that's why it's so.
I mean, honestly, Pascal, this is why I watch you like as much as I can. This is because you're not in that world. You're not down with it, but you're also not scared to be what's the word? Curious about these things, right? And so you actually do a really good job, in my opinion, of breaking down some of the barriers just enough for us to all sort of maybe think about a different way of thinking about it, just to hear the story that we're talking about or something. Mm-hmm. But it always just seems to come back to the heart and come back to love. And anyone without love, I'm not sure what you're going to do. And I don't know what to do with you, And but you do a really good job of bringing that around. And I in my own little world, I'll be honest, I get real pissed when you start talking about the manosphere, just because I'm like, damn, come on, don't be that. Like, I remember the first time you brought it up, I was all over the chat just being like, F this, like,
yeah,
you know, and I felt like, almost in a sense, in that one moment, I felt kind of betrayed, which is funny, because this is your thing. You do this, not me. I'm just a part of it, right? I just love it and follow it and get a lot of value, real value, not money value. I don't, it's like, I get real value out of it. But that one time I was like, oh no. But I had it, what it did was it made me actually listen, made me pay attention more and be like, what are they actually saying here? And when I listened deeper and I heard what you were saying, I heard your views, I realized like that you're not a binary person. You spread yourself across. And I think that's how we all should be. So I want to just thank you for helping me get through all these times since basically, I think the first time I saw you was right before the insurrection, or
right.
the innie.
Yeah, the thing that happened on the 6th.
The innie during the panty.
The innie during the panty. Now the thing is no, and I appreciate you saying that. You know what I mean? And that's what I was basically about to say. It's like, we can talk about this not only in the relationships realm, but this is also in the political realm, that it's not always just so black and white, as you said earlier. It's not just so cookie cutter, especially if you have people that are willing to think outside the box. If you have somebody who's just saying, oh, within, the red pill, you got to do this, that, and the third, and all this stuff. It's like, well, wait a second. It's much more complicated than that. Just because you're man, and she woman means they suddenly red pill. It's like, no, like there's so much that goes on, and whatever goes on between y'all is things that happen behind closed doors. And I'm not talking about the sexual things. I'm just saying, in a relationship, it's different. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't automatically mean that you're beta if you let your woman, let your partner, let's just say, make a decision on a couple things or something like that. You see what I'm saying? It's not always so stuck in a box. And we have to understand that we have to think outside that box, because you might find let's just talk about cis male stuff real quick. If you find the woman of your dreams and she's the dopest thing in the world, and I you love her more than anything in the world, but she just marches to a different beat. She may not be the whole slippers and a martini waiting for you as you come home. You know what I mean? Honey, I'm home. It's like, it's not Lucy. Like, I love Lucy. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not always going to be like that. You might find somebody that is a businesswoman that's just killing it in the game. Does that mean like, oh, I can't be alpha with her, so therefore I can't? No, you go, hey baby, what do you need? We're gonna be a team, and we're gonna work together. It doesn't automatically mean that just because she's a career woman and she's successful, that suddenly that deteriorates who you are as a man. That's the problem with this whole the breakdown of these red pills, manosphere, BS thing that's going on. To each their own. If that's how people want to talk about it, by all means, no shade on anybody that wants to put in their opinions about what's going on in that sphere. All right. But somebody else said it's like I'm creating the Pascalshow. You know what I mean? This is my own thing. And it's not every day that I'm putting out videos talking about relationship things. But yeah, I'm putting out my own opinions about how the world is. And it may not be within the criteria of what is considered red pill, because I'm a modern, forward-thinking human being.
Yes.
It's not all I love Lucy, like, oh, Lucy. It's not that. It's not that.
But you're really good at that impression. And I think that's important, is like to be able to talk about this stuff with some levity and some lightness is really important. And so like, by you bringing that up and doing that accent and saying that, it brings a nice a nice like relief to it instead of it being heavy. And men need to be talking about relationships. I think the most important thing that I learned is if I'm going, if I find myself attracted to someone who is maybe embodies a bunch of things that I think is idealistic or something like that, I often question myself really quickly after I've been hanging out with them, like, what am I doing? What is this about? Where is the substance? What's going on? If someone can't find someone that they dream of, maybe they should look at their dreams, because there's people out there all over the place looking for someone who's a good partner, a good support mechanism, a good friend, you know?
Yeah.
And you can create anything with people like that.
I agree with that 100%. Real quick, I want to hop over to this super chat. Jesse Adams, thank you, Jesse Adams, for the $10 super chat. I really do appreciate it. She asked, she commented on YouTube, they live in Miami, so I expect that personality and lifestyle. I agree. If you no longer are into having sex with random women and living the Instagram life, why is that considered beta with men? You want to know why? And this is, and I don't think it's beta with all men. I think that within this whole world that has been built lately, where we're all leaning on this whole idea of, high value man. Well, I think that a high value man, in my personal opinion, like I said, this is the Pascalosphere. This is my world. Okay. And it may go against the manosphere. All right. But in my personal opinion, we live in a different time. And I think that being alpha does not automatically mean, or being high value does not automatically mean just the money in your bank account. I think that you can bring high value to somebody's life spiritually, emotionally, and the sort. Yes, please, guys. I say this is men and women. Make sure your financials are on point. Make sure you're making good money. You know what I'm saying? Live happy. Have a fruitful business. You know, don't just be sitting around smoking weed, playing PlayStation all day long. That's to me. But I'm saying, if you broke and you go into this serious debt and all you're doing is playing video games, that is beta to me. Okay.
Right.
But if you are out here and you wake the F up, I'm just saying this real quick. If you wake the F up and you realize that, oh my God, wait a second. Holy crap. Why am I wasting my time chasing these undervalued people on Instagram? Why am I wasting my time on superficial things that have nothing to do with what I want to do with my life? This is not bringing happiness to me. It just looks good. It's just like a Band-Aid on top of a really bad leak. Like, you know, putting duct tape, wrapping duct tape around a leaky faucet. You know what I mean? That's still spouting out all kinds of crazy water. It ain't helping anything. It's just making things worse. At some point, we all have to, us as men and women, we all have the wake up moment, the holy crap, sobering moment. What am I doing with my life? I am wasting my time running after wasteless people. I'm telling you, superficial crap. The only reason, oh my God, the only reason why I got laid was because I was in these nice clothes and because of my dope ass car. The only reason why this girl came over here and knocked on my door, the window of my car, is because of my ride. She only wanted that. What? I'm a human being too. I got feelings. You know what I mean? That's what's going on. At some point, we all have that sobering moment where it's like, no, I want to find a real woman. Or no, I want to find a real man. I'm tired of running after all this flashiness. And most of the time, the flashiest dudes in the club are the brokest ones. I mean, come on, y'all. I hate to say it like that, but them are the breaks. Or they're the most F-boyish of the F-boys. Yeah. Okay? So when it comes to these girls or these guys that will sit there and go, man, he ain't nothing because he's doing this, that, and the third. He don't want to run after these girls like us. He ain't going out hunting like us. Nah, it means that person probably got enlightened. He had a moment of enlightenment and realized that his time being spent in the club is a waste of time, period. Because you're not going to find a good woman in a club. I'm sorry, you might get lucky. I'm saying you might find a diamond in the rough, but most of the time it's the same kind of people drinking colors, talking a whole bunch of trash, surrounded by really loud, over the top music that you already hear in your car every single damn day. So this is the reason why when you have somebody who's going, oh, they beta, because they're still stuck in that mentality. They're still stuck in that idea of, I got to go to the club because fear of missing out. You know what I mean? The FOMO, because I got to be around the girls in the cocktail dresses and the dudes all flashy that are all doing the same thing that they did last night. They're probably still wearing the same outfit that they wore last night, smelling musky as hell because they hadn't even gone home to wash their own stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So my question is, why are you doing that? You have to ask yourself, well, why are you here chasing this tail? Whether that's the tail or the tail of the story, right? And it's because you're lonely, you're probably depressed.
Okay, you want to know,
and you probably have some issues.
Hold up, let me sprinkle a little something on here. Let me sprinkle a little crack on here, okay?
Do it
a little bit, okay? Confetti, you know that stuff you throw on the cakes and stuff. Let me throw some confetti on this bitch, okay? The reason why these people are upset and sad and lonely is because of what is being thrust into their brain on the social medias, all on TV, in the mother effing movies, all that stuff. If we realize that we didn't need those things, we wouldn't be feeling the way that we feel. We wouldn't be running out trying to get the flashiest car that we can't even afford the gas in, putting ourselves into crazy debt just so we can get the Il Nana or the D for some women. I'm keeping it real. The reason why we have all these people out here that are all upset and sad and lonely is because of what the world, what pop culture and all that stuff is saying what we should be doing. It's saying how we should be living when it's totally wrong. It's totally, totally wrong. So when you have people out here that are watching the manosphere says this, and they're consuming this ish every day. They're eating it like freaking popcorn every single day. But they're not giving people the truth. They're saying what they need to say because they're living this lifestyle. They're showing off a lifestyle, this lavish lifestyle of being like living like a rock star, but you're not type of thing. Not all of us can live that way. Real talk. So you see this, you're consuming this on your YouTubes and the social medias, and then you get sad. Or you go and you buy those new fresh pair of J's that you stood out in line for like a whole day. You finally get the J's. You think that it's going to go great with that outfit. And I'm just talking guy talk here. Then you go and you put on the outfit. You think you're going to go there and you're going to get seen. And 9 times out of 10, the people who give you the mad props about the sneakers are dudes.
Yeah. That's why I pre-laughed.
You're still going home empty-handed. You're still going home broke because you spent all your money on some girls. They would think that we're going to be like, oh, she said yes to the drink. 7 drinks later. Thank you so much. Bye. And then they leave. You're like, but I didn't even get the numbers. And this is the thing that we're consuming every single day. We're watching this stuff, the manosphere. We're watching all this crap. Instead of realizing, oh, you know what? This is all BS. How about just being a real human being? How about just being a hardworking human being? Do the right thing. The right person will find you. You will not find any person of substance in a club. I'm saying it. It's the truth. Yeah, it's hard to find a girl. It's hard. But that's why you surround yourself with dope people. You surround yourself with greatness. Because at the end of the day, you are the company that you freaking keep. And if you're around a bunch of F-boys, you're going to be an F-boy. And you're going to be dating a bunch of F-girls that don't have any value to bring to the table. I'm just saying, bruh.
Yeah, you're right about
that. But no one's listening to this. They want to hear the manosphere stuff. They want to hear fast cars and fast women. Hey, if that's how you want to do it, you want to get, you want to bang and do your thing. Hey, man, you want to sow your royal oats? Hey, do your thing. I'm not throwing any shade on it. But at some point, you're going to go, where's the 10 years of, whoa. Oh, my God, I'm in my 30s. And what the fuck?
Yeah.
The what the fuck moment's going to happen. And you're going to go, and I'm going to be right here going, Pascalosphere, I told you. I'm sorry. But these are the facts. Okay. Let me throw up this thing really quick. I mean, these aren't statistics or anything like that. I've just seen a lot of my friends go through this kind of stuff. Real talk. They go through this whole thing. They run through a whole bunch of girls. Cool. Single serving friends, I like to call them. You know what I mean? In and out. They do the thing. It was great, girl. I'll call you. And then they leave. You know what I'm saying? Then it's that awkward, it's that awkward encounter at another club. You didn't expect the girl that you just smashed last weekend to be there, but she's there out on the prowl, and she's like, "Oh, hi." You're like, this is awkward. I just saw you naked last weekend. But anyway, moving on to the next girl. You're doing that for 10 years or so, and then you wake the F up, and you're gonna go, "Oh my God, I just wasted all my time doing this when I could have been doing this. All that money I spent on all these fast cars and fast women, I could have been spending on investing on other things, building my business, working on myself." Anyway, Lady John put in the $5 super chat. She did put in 2, so I need to pull this up really quick. She said, thank you so much, by the way. She said, ever notice in the manosphere, the measurement of dominance of men is often compared to the women? That's weird. That is weird considering, next one. But in other species, alpha often refers to how many males measure up within their social hierarchy and against other males. That is a very interesting. She has to get all Lady Justice on us. You know what I'm saying? I've said enough stuff. I'm going to throw it over to T. What are your thoughts on this comment? Thank you for the super chats, for the $5 super chats. Both.
Yeah. I was gonna go back a little bit to Tommy. What's up, man? He was talking about like the appearance, like the box, and unwrapping that box. And I look at that as like, all of us are, not all of us, but a lot of people are putting themselves out there, and their presentation is wrapped up in, glitter or nice ribbons or whatever. But once this open up that box and you see inside that box, what's really actually in there? What is your actual, value? What do I have to use long term? And that goes with what you were saying, Pascal, as far as like the presentation you get from women in the club. I mean, that same image, the same lifestyle. You're playing around this, on this game of temporary satisfaction. So you're going to get something quick, maybe happy, maybe not. There's nothing long term in there to build upon. And many people are using social media as a platform to present themselves, well, a part of themselves that's not even real. People are living in this facade so they can impress people that don't even like them. And at the end of the day, you're in the mirror seeing yourself as someone you don't even know anymore, because you lost yourself in trying to be something that you're actually not. And you have these guys in the manosphere who are using their platforms to bang their chest, like you said, and preach, this man truth. But it's not universal. We all come from different tribes and cloths. What you've done to obtain success or women, it's not the formula that I'm going to use for my success, and so forth. So we can't just all be on the same measurement or standards, and live off of this because you said so. Right. And I mean, as men, we got to be careful on who we follow as other men. We have to be careful on who we, look to as leaders, because we have to lead women. We have to lead families, and we can't lead families and our women on some BS, temporary, Ponzi scheme. It's not going to work at all. It's going to all fall apart. Women look towards real men for leadership. They do. And maybe the feminist movement may not say that, but women typically want to find a man who's going to lead them, who she admires, who she feels secure in, and who she can build upon a family with. Because at the end of the day, all of us need to connect and play our roles as a family unit to build. And right now, there's not much out there to pick from men or women if they're playing these roles of manosphere versus gold diggers. So, looking in the future, what will be out there to choose from for the people who are quality, people who value substance, who value loyalty, who value actual characteristics that build upon success long term. And I don't mean money, but I mean success as far as like living a good life, passing down good morals and good standards of living. Like that's the value that I look forward. Like Psychiatrist Tommy said, love. Passing down real love. And typically, unfortunately, all of us receive love from how we received it from our parents. And those of us who did not get love from our parents in the correct manner, we're out here trying to find love in the wrong places. We're out here trying to find something that's going to fill that hole, going to fill that wound inside. It's not going to happen ever. You're going to keep cycling through the same kind of people that you kind of hate, but you want to be near them to fill your needs. They can't fill your needs because you can't fill your own needs. And it comes down to investing in yourself first before you invest in somebody else.
Yeah, you know what? I completely agree. You know what I mean? I think that more than anything, there needs to be more conversations with people on learning how to use language of love, right? Or how to. I feel like a lot of people still need to figure out how they want to be loved. I know that sounds really cheesy, but a lot of us are out here trying to find love in so many different ways. And I do believe that we all have our own specific language of love, personal language of love, how we want to be loved, how we know we are being loved, right? And I feel like a lot of us are too busy trying to we ignore that piece. We're too busy trying to get the love, meaning like get laid or get the attention, than actually trying to figure out, well, what works for me? What is it that I need in a partner? Now, let me say this. I get it. We live in a world right now where, like with men, it's a crazy double standard. Let's keep it real. It's a crazy double standard. But within the double standard that we live in right now, it is all about body count, right? Women have to be virginal. Men have got to be slaying the D, okay? All up in it, okay? All day long. It's the truth. It's been like that since the dawn of whatever, okay? Since the dawn of the D, okay? We are out here, and unfortunately, it is what it is, okay? It is what it is, but at the same time, we still have that mentality, right? We still click and drag that mentality out here for all of us to see. Like, for men, we are out here running around, spreading the seed as much as we can because this is what we do naturally, instinctively as humans. This is just how we are wired and all that. But of course, everything has gone up to a certain extent because obviously everything's hypersexualized all the time. We put women on a very specific pedestal and all that when it comes to sex and all that. But I do feel that we are now in a time where things are changing, right? The dating sphere, the dating scope of things have changed. The relationship scopes of things have changed drastically since the 80s. Obviously, because of blended families and the TV shows that we consume, the things that we see every single day. There are now the LGBTQ plus community that is out in the forefront even more now than before. It used to just be something that it was hushed. You know what I mean? Like, your uncle, he died of cancer. And it's like, no, he died of AIDS, right? But now those kind of things are more out in the forefront. Or, yeah, he has a roommate. Your uncle has a roommate. That was what it was back in the day, Yeah, he got a roommate. Yeah, his name is Charles. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's a nice white boy. And it's like, okay, cool. But you never knew until later on. You see what I'm saying? Now everything is so blended, everything's so different. And I feel like that's the same thing when it comes to how we look at dating, conversations, etc. How we do and approach, how we go into those watering holes and do our thing, you know? Like, I'm not sitting here saying that people can't go out to the club and have a good old time. I'm not trying to sit here and say you can't go and kick it and have a good time and hit on women or hit on men and have the time of your damn life. Man, come on. Go on with it. Enjoy your damn self. But like I say, at some point when you're just tallying up, you're just putting notches on the bedpost all day long. Where are you going to find value in anything doing that? How is any girl, how is any person going to look at you like, oh, he's a good man because of the notches on your bedpost? Do you think that when you go into a job interview,
absolutely none,
saying exactly, you think that they're going to sit there and say, you think that you're going to go to a job interview and they're going to go, so how many girls have you banged? None are. They're gonna be like, oh, for real? Man, you got the baddest girl. Wow, congrats. We're gonna give you a 6-figure a year job. No,
if you're a porn star, that works.
Say what?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
What do you say?
If you're a porn star, that works. If you're a porn star, that's what they.
Oh well, that's a different story. if you're an adult film star, that's a whole other conversation. But you see what I'm saying, okay? At some point, these things that we are throwing up onto on a pedestal, at some point, we all realize that those things don't matter. We all want to be desired. That is the goal, right? We all want to be desired. We all love to be loved. But at the same time, what's more enjoyable? Being loved by a bunch of vacant like people, or being loved by the people that you love back and they actually show you love, real love, not, oh, I like him because, he got the fastest car and he's got the nicest, he got the nicest drip. Where is the value in that?
What's drip?
Clothes,
okay.
Jewelry, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The swag.
I don't have that. I don't have that.
You know what I mean?
But what's funny? What's funny is that, like, okay, so like I said, I'm a musician. I DJ, I perform, I play beats, I play drums, I do all sorts of ish. And
shameless plug. Was that just a shameless?
Oh, plug? It can be.
I'm just playing.
It can be.
Yeah, where could they find you though? Real talk.
A couple places. Mostly, my bigger project is called Beats Antique.
Okay.
And we just make crazy music. And
like, are you making music off of old antiques? Like, are you beating off?
Yeah, sure, man.
Grandfather clock. You know what I mean?
I'm not beating off of anything. I'm beating on things, Pascal. Okay, thanks. But no, it's like we actually we use like old instruments and old things and make fresh sounds with it, update it for the modern times, But that's not why I'm here. Why I'm here is because for me personally, I'll actually go to when I'm in a club, I'm working, right? And so when I get shade at a club from some alpha dude trying to say something to me, I'm just kind of like, in 10 minutes, I'm going to be up on that stage up there and you're going to feel like an idiot because you actually paid me to come here to meet these people that are actually my fans that actually won't have anything to do with you because they live with respect and love first, and you don't fit in that. So get the F out. And I don't need your money or want it, Right. And I think that's the interesting part. It's like people are so narrow-minded. They think that, going to a club is this or that or the other. Like some people are working, actually putting your ass in the club because you like them, and that's what's so funny. It's like, but that's all. I hate that. It drives me crazy.
No, I feel you on that. Real quick, I do have a super chat real quick. And of course, guys, if you guys are watching right now and you're enjoying the conversation, please hit that like button down below, okay? And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, all right? I promise you there are going to be more conversations just like this right here on the Pascal Show. So please hit that like button, send those likes all the way up. I'd love to see it go past 100. That would be amazing. That would really mean a lot. Okay. And like I said, today was a mental break day, just a mental vacation. I mean, beating off grandfather's clocks and stuff like that. But please hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up. We do have a super chat from Jesse Adams again on YouTube. Thank you again, Jesse Adams. This is a very good question. Okay. At which point does a high body count become disgusting? And now here's the thing. It's a kind of a heavy question. All right. Those are two different things, in my personal opinion. Because it requires, like, what is considered disgusting. We gotta play the double standard. All right. What's disgusting within women and what's disgusting within men? It's two different things in the world that we live in. All right. In the natural world that we live in, because here it is. I ain't never met a woman so far. I'll be real. Never met a woman that was cool with dating a guy who was a virgin. But flip the script. I've seen a lot of guys get real excited about dating a virgin. Yeah, I said it.
Control. That's why.
Control and being the first. I hit it first. Come on, Ray J. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. I hit it first. I'm just being real. Dudes are all about it when it comes to a girl who ain't never been betwixt the sheets. But when it comes to a girl finding out the dude ain't knocking the boots before, they ain't that interested, because then they don't know, the dude doesn't know how to give her that vitamin D. That's what they automatically assume. I'm being real. Hey, I'm being real. And if you don't agree with me, I'm sorry, but this is the truth. Okay. Now, when it comes to body counts, though, oh boy, we live in a very interesting time now. Body counts, I feel, have tripled because of Tinder and all these other dating apps where you're like, all I got to do is swipe left or right and I can get laid. Bruh. And so next thing you know, you're cute, want to bang. You know, like back in the day, it used to be nice shoes, want to bang. Now it's just swipe left, want to bang. It's so weird and so easily acceptable or accessible. And it's so socially acceptable that people are just banging all over the place. Everybody fucking. Okay. Now, body counts are different now. I'm gonna be real. This is like the late night show in the morning right now. I should turn these damn lights into red right now, real quick. But anyway, real talk. But what I'm trying to say is that body counts are a tough one, because when a man does not want to know, I'm gonna be real. A man, and this is very, I'm like I said, it is double standard type stuff. So, ladies, I'm sorry, but when a guy finds out that the woman has a body count, has a large body count, it's very, it's, oh, wow. So I'm sharing you with all those dudes. Wow. But then on the girl side, I feel like there's a certain number. I just don't know what the number is. You see what I'm saying?
Always changing.
But no. What I mean for the guy, where they find it disgusting to a certain extent. Now, I feel, I'll say this though too, because the streets are always talking. These streets always talking, y'all. So ladies, my beautiful, beautiful sisters out here, let me tell you, you already been known who he been with and what he's been all up in. Real talk. You already know his body count before you even start talking to him. Or maybe, let me take that back. Maybe after you talk to him, you start realizing or hearing from your other friends, oh, you talking to Jermaine? Mm-hmm, I know. Then the truth comes out, because the ladies be talking. Guys, we don't really, like when with the girls, y'all are like, y'all keep it locked. Y'all don't talk about nothing. So we have to later on find out the body count. Like, how many you been with? And then they say like 3. It really is 12, 15. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. But you guys keep that on lock. But a dude's vitamin D reputation, especially if he's slinging that D around a lot, all y'all girls already been knowing. The whole block already knows about him and his swaggerish ways. Okay, with him running around with all these scallywags. Every week he's got a new girl on his arm. People are gonna see that. So it really depends on the girl, because y'all already know, at least in your mind, you already know that the dude is already getting a whole lot of bodies in his bedroom before y'all even really get serious. So it's really a question of like, what is okay and what is not okay. I think that if it goes well into the double digits, you might want to reconsider some things.
I was going to say something about body count.
Go ahead, please.
So I think that if you're talking about it in body count, you already effed up. You already fucked that shit up. Like, like body count is like when there's like a mass shooting and you're like, how many people died? Like, for real.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
If you're talking about sex in that way, that's fucked. You need to go back to school. You need to go back and learn some things. You need to stop, pause, relax, find your morals, and try having sex with someone that that you are excited about and that is excited about you. And all of a sudden, your whole life will change. Flowers will grow where they once never grew. And all sorts of stuff's going to happen to you. It's a beautiful journey. It ain't no beautiful journey if you're like, body count. How many has it been? Oh, shit. Let's see what I got. Okay, now you go out and get
carry the 1 to
divided by 6.
If you turn to your girl or your man and you ask them that question and they literally do this, that's a lot.
Just leave.
I mean,
enough. Don't even tell me. I'm over here. You do the math. You keep it to yourself. Okay. I'm just gonna guess to me.
Okay. Calculator out. Like, oh, let me check my last text. Let me tell you.
Woo! Yep.
That's a problem.
I'm thinking like, I mean, if a woman knows that a man has a high body count, if she wants to be part of that body count, what does she actually expect long term? I mean, is her mind tied into, I want to keep him to myself?
Well, I think that's the thing.
Different. I'm special. That's the
question. I think that's the thing. Like, what it's like that's what I mean. Like, body count. It's like the real body count that you should know is how many times did you have sex with the same person, and how awesome was that? Right? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to find out. Like, how much lasting power? Like, what's the what's going on here? Not how many can you execute in your path.
Ooh, see, that's interesting. Because I wouldn't want to know.
I wouldn't want to know either.
I wouldn't want to know. Like, I wouldn't want to know on any level, but I wouldn't want to know how many times have you had sex with this particular human being.
No, I'm just saying, like, in a relationship, or do you have experience in a relationship? Can you actually communicate good enough to keep people around in your life? That's all I meant.
No, it's all good. No. I see what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, on top of that, just to add into that conversation, if you in a long-term relationship with somebody, clearly you've had a whole lot of sex, whether it was healthy, like a healthy sexual relationship or not. You know what I mean? Even though, you might've been with that person, for 5 years and you only had sex once every single month, that's still a lot of sex with that one person over 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So that I'm like, I'm good. I'm good on all that. But at the same time, I do think that body count is tough. Somebody just asked a second ago, Mara Charisse, I think that's how pronounce her name. I'm sorry. She said, how old are we? Now, here's the other thing. This is a very good question. Because as you get older, your body count is going to change. Every single person, like some people are serial monogamists out here. All right. Every time they get into a relationship, they stay with that person for a significant amount of time. Right. So maybe over the course of, like, say 3 decades, you might only have 5 on your list, right? Because you've had these serious relationships over a course of time. You didn't have any crazy one-nighters or anything crazy like that, or dates that you know, after the 3rd or 4th date, or the first, depending on the situation. You know, maybe you didn't do those kind of things. You know what I mean? You just only had sex with people when you were in a serious relationship, but you still have serious relationships as you go on in life, right? As you get older, the body count does change. So when you go into the whole, say you're in your 40s, right? Body count going to be different. You can't tell me that you're going to have sex with one person for the whole entire 40 years of your damn life. To me, that is a bit of a stretch. All right. Unless it's the one, then that's fine. I understand that piece. I've seen that story, but it's a very rare story. That's a very rare situation that we've seen. Let's be real. People are more and more attractive nowadays. It's a lot easier to get access to your social medias and swipe left or right or whatever it is, and get on these Bumbles and blah, blah, blahs, all these dating apps out here. Things are a lot different. So it is a good question about, like, body count. When is it disgusting? Or when does it get, when you start feeling icky inside? You know what I mean? You're like, ew, I should get checked. If that is the situation, I'm being real. If that is the situation, especially if you know some of the people, that's the thing. When you know some of the dudes or the girls that they have, then you're like, oh, bruh, I need to go get checked. This is not good. I mean, I was protected, but I should get checked. So now, when it comes to that, I don't know. I could not say what is a healthy body count, because I feel like with every single person, it's going to be different. Because I could easily say 3. Right. And somebody else might go, ooh, that's the skill. Oh my God, no. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, we live in a different world right now. It's rare to meet somebody who has 3 on their body count. Okay. 3 on their body count. Sometimes it's hard to find that. Okay. So it really depends on you. But then at the same time, I'm going, if this person's a good person and the vibes are good and they clean and all that stuff, you shouldn't even know. You shouldn't even ask. It's a whirlwind of trouble, and you're going to be so inside of yourself. You're going to get so neurotic over that it's going to ruin the relationship that you have with that person. This person could be the one, but just had either was an F boy, a reformed F boy, or he or she was running around because they were just getting their wild stuff out, met you, fell in love. If the relationship works, then worry about the relationship.
I mean, that's the thing right there, though. It's like, it depends on, like, who you are. Some people talk about sex as a casual thing, and they enjoy casual sex. Some people are more grounded and it means something to me. It's like a connection spiritually. You know, I want to hold on to someone's, body and soul as a unit, and I want long-term satisfaction. You know, you have societies play on that, religions play on that. So the different spins on sexuality and what it really means. Now, if you spent your 20s, your late teens, maybe 30s, just having casual sex, and you want to finally settle down with somebody, you have to be able to, first of all, detach yourself sexually from, you would say, like being vulnerable or intimate. Because if all your sex was casual, intimacy probably wasn't even there. It probably was just something fun, orgasmic, and then you were cool with it. But if you want to be with somebody long term, the sexual part is great. But if it's not intimate, if there's no value to it, you don't really share souls, I guess you can say, then you really can't build upon that.
Right.
And if someone's yearning, someone wants to adore this person sexually, it has to be more than just physical. It has to be mental, maybe spiritual, has to be something that you can actually probably even get off on in your mind. That, you know, I miss my spouse, or I miss my partner, because it's so deep. It's beyond lust. It's more like a it's really a bond between those persons.
It's an emotional connection.
Yeah.
That transcends it transcends the physical.
Yeah.
You know, when you have somebody that you feel that you are that in tuned with, you know, the sex isn't sex anymore. That's making love, in my personal opinion.
Exactly, making love. Yeah,
that's intimacy. Right. You know, you could still get in, get off, get out all day long with everything. But when you do find somebody that is like we've been talking about, of value, then the sex turns into something completely different, in my personal opinion. And don't get me wrong, you could still make love, and you could still have sex, and you could still F with the same person. You see what I'm saying? There's different levels. There's varying degrees. You know what I'm saying? It's not always just, you know, sunshine and daffodils and rose petals and the billowing curtain in the background. F that. There's still other levels of this with that person that you truly love. You know, you can get a little freaky deaky. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. That's still love making. It's just a different level. You know,
I'm curious to say, like, on a survey of all these women who are getting quickly serviced by these players, these alpha males out here.
Yeah.
How many are them actually being really satisfied internally? Like, how many are reaching climax? Like, how many are actually really going like, damn, like I can't walk straight no more. Like, I mean, and I don't mean like this bang bang bang. I mean like actual, like, her toes curl up. You know what I'm saying? Like she's high. And right. How, you know, that comes from more than this sex. It comes from really just like really hitting that right spot within her, making her feel like, damn, I'm special. And that's the hard part.
That is true.
If a man doesn't give a fuck, he hitting and splitting.
Oh yeah.
But if you want to hit that spot within her to make her do all kinds of things, you know what I'm saying? You got to know how to find that spot.
Facts.
And that's the part of women yearn for that. Women need that pleasing them first. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
That's how it is. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta really hit that spot and have a little, you know, a little waterfall coming out.
Yeah.
That's what matters. You know what I'm saying?
We just went there.
Yeah, it's just turned into.
You need to please her, man. You need to like you.
This went into whitewater rafting.
You the sideline coach. You need to please her, man. You need to hit it. Man, the hell's wrong with you, man? Wake the hell up. Wake the hell up, man. You better go back in there. You do the damn job. But that's true. It's all about getting in the woman's mind too. You know, it's not always just, you know, and then it's done. You know what I'm saying? There's more to it. There's absolutely more to it, for sure. And it's all about being comfortable as well. And, you know,
and collaborating. That's exactly. The thing. It's a collaboration. And I think that's what gets people like to that next level is because collaborating on this thing, like I'm a part of it. Like my being is a part of this. Now, whether that's like a super serious thing, like real intimate and loving, or whether that's like a let's get the hell out of here and go for it. You know, it's a collaboration. And if it isn't, or if it's weighted on one side, it's actually really dangerous and could hurt a lot of people, including yourself. You know? Absolutely. And that's not worth it. That, to be honest, it's not worth any of it. And that's because I'm 47 and I've already lived like a lot of this stuff and learned enough from because my behavior has been at some points abhorrent. I mean, I don't know. There's plenty of amazing women that I missed out on because I wasn't able to come up to the relationship with a good balance of things. You know, it's like nobody wants just one side of someone. They want they want that diversity of this one person's like overall. And I wasn't able to give that to certain people, and they let me know that. Luckily, they let me know so that I could possibly, think of some things I could work on or something. But it's like most people that go after the non-collaborative stuff, they're the ones that are talking about body count. They're the ones that are talking about this and that and the other. And I think it's just kind of, I just think it's stupid, but that's just because I'm 47 and I've already done that, like back in the day, and was young, dumb, and stupid.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's why we have that. That's why we have youths that go through stuff, and then we look at them and go, when I was your age, I was just as dumb. Or no, I didn't do that stuff. You're just dumb. But let me turn you in the right direction. You know what I mean? Hey, try this way. You know, it's not all about the view. You know what I mean? It's not all about the views. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when it comes to going back to the conversation, it feels like that's what it is with Fresh and Fit. It's all about the views. They only care about the views. To me, from what I've seen, you know, they're too busy showing off rather than going, okay, are we really bringing value to this show? Don't get me wrong. You can still have the entertainment side of it. Please. It works. It's working for them. Bring in great looking girls, Instagram models and all that stuff. Bring in the adult film stars, do all whatever, but also bring value to the show. You know what I'm saying?
The question I have about that is okay. Do they have to actually disrespect people as harshly as they do for their views to be that way? I don't think they do. But I've only seen them with clips of that you've shown, because I'm not going to watch that trash. But I'm really curious. Like, do they are their views and is their business that they're doing, like, is it tied up into that? Like, do they have to do that at this point, or can they actually speak on things like we're doing here and actually just do whatever they want and you know, pull in some other things? Or are they just always super ham on stuff?
From what I've seen on that show, they're pretty damn intense, right?
Yeah.
They go right in on that ish. And but a lot of times, you know, like a lot of these shows, you know what I mean? They get on their pedestal or they get on their soapbox and they just go. And I've just noticed one more than the other is very brash about everything, very much in your face. And it's like, you know, you got this all wrong and blah, blah, blah. And it's, you know, like I said, I've seen some things and I'm like, yo, this is kind of disrespectful. I'll just say that. It's like, man, that's hella disrespectful how they're talking to that particular person. Now, they have received backlash or like have received disrespect from somebody live on the show, then absolutely, you take them down quick. You know what I mean? You put them in their place with the quickness. But I feel like, you know, they are at a place right now where they have so many followers and so much love that they feel like they're untouchable. They feel like they can do no wrong. Hence the reason why they thought that they had a platform or a place to talk ish on Preach's wife and then diss his country, diss my country. You know what I mean? And those kind of things, it's like, bro, you got better things to do than
my favorite thing was his response. My favorite thing was his response, because that is it Prince? Is that what his name is? Preach. Sorry. So he, like, the whole time his partner's talking, he's sitting there like silent still. He's just waiting for the moment to be like, oh yeah, like, the most rude thing that you could ever say or do is what you just did to this guy. Like, that does not make you a good person or somebody for anyone to look up to. Like, I don't know what those people were thinking, but that is just like the one rule to make sure someone does actually want to fight you.
Oh yeah. There's more developing story with that as well, which is ridiculous. But real quick, everybody, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. I know this is a little unorthodox. We're usually not on around this time, so we would really appreciate the love. So if you can hit that like button down below, that would really mean a lot. Send the love all the way up. I'd love to see if we can get it past 100 likes. So help me out. Help this show out. And also, if you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. That would be really, really, really appreciated. And to all the mods that are still in this conversation with us as well, shout out to all y'all. I appreciate you guys being on and monitoring and still being here and being dope, because that's why you guys are here. You guys are phenomenal. But yeah, I think that when it comes to shoot, I just lost my train of thought. What was that last piece that you said, Tommy? I'm sorry. I was just wanting to make sure we.
I don't know. I got all confused about all the likes and stuff and all that stuff as well.
No,
so I think that's
I think that there's a little bit.
The fighting words. It's like if you're gonna say that stuff, okay, like I think every I think every person, but maybe it's just maybe I'll say every man. We all know, we were all taught and by either by someone telling us, by us seeing it, or us experiencing it, we were taught when and when not to say certain things about certain people. And if you didn't learn that, you're just stupid.
Yeah.
And ignorant. And because there's one thing about saying, oh, wherever you're from sucks or something like that, right? When it's a country that's been through as much as Haiti, you don't say that. Like, you just don't. I don't care what you think about it. Like,
right.
You just don't do that, right? That's just disrespectful to so many higher powers of things. And then to also say that someone's fat, it's like, or ugly or something like that. It's just like, grow the fuck up and get out of here for me. Like, get away from me. I'm just gonna, no matter what, stick up for the other person, like 100%.
Facts. I mean, no matter what, if you're gonna do low blows, if you're gonna try to knock somebody down a few hundred pegs by attacking not their character, but the people that they love or the country that they come from, and not actually talking about the subject matter itself, one, it shows a maturity, and two, it just makes you sound, just makes you look stupid. But real quick, we got a super chat from Laura Estrada. Thank you for the $5 super chat. She says, we may be kidding around, but sex is a serious subject. We really need to be honest about. And that is true. I agree. It's not something that you can just play around. Sex is a very serious subject. I think that people are running, I feel like things and people are running rampant nowadays, with the craziness, with the sex. And I do feel like we are at a place where we need to come back down to a level that makes a little bit more sense. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Sex is awesome. All right. Sex is great. We all love it. Why do you think this world is overpopulated? Because it feels good. Okay. But at the same time, there is a certain seriousness of it that we need to bring back. I'm all about sexual freedom and expressing yourself and all that, but I do think it has gone a little haywire, a tiny bit haywire. That's why we're seeing a lot more, STDs spreading all over the place. That's why we see a lot of illegitimate children that are being born, without their dads or without their moms. We're seeing more and more of those things coming out. And it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And like I said, knocking the boots is great. It's a fun thing to do. It's a fun activity. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite pastimes. But at the same time,
and one of your favorite songs.
And one of my favorite songs. Yeah,
knocking the boots.
But at the same time, like, I do feel like there is a level of restraint that we need to have more. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, somebody said puffing more condoms. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more condoms, but then there's a lot of condoms that aren't being used. Hence the reason why women are getting knocked up. You know what I mean? And I think that if we were to change the way we see things on social media and all that, and all these things that are glorified, I think things would slow down. But it's not going to slow down anytime soon because sex sells. Every hip hop music video, all that stuff. If that rap video that came out had no women in it, and it was just him rapping with a book in his hand, he better be the most exciting rap artist in the world. But he would never have as many views unless he's like some huge name. If he's some regular guy and he's a conscious rapper, and he don't have some big booties clapping in the video, Nobody's watching it. I'm just being real. Nobody's watching it because sex sells. You look at all the videos. Look, this is the reason why Fresh and Fit is doing so well, because sex sells. It sells. They got girls twerking in their shows. They got girls kissing each other and all that stuff. Who do you think they're catering to? Us men's, the penis that's out here. Okay. Unfortunately, that's the case. But I feel like if we were to find ways of not glorifying so many different things, these certain aspects of sex, or these apps weren't so readily available like this, I think that things would be different. Children are having sex really early nowadays. Really early nowadays. And I'm not trying to sit here and say, what's wrong with these kids? Back in my day, no. No. I'm not trying to say that. But there is something that needs to be brought back. And I'm not trying to say like some Puritan freaking, Handmaid's Tale under his eye. No. Not at all. Not at all. Blessed be the fruit. No, I'm not saying any of that crap. Okay. I'm talking about, can you tell I watched that show? But there's got to be some level of balance. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be some level of balance. And
I think that's the biggest part is like, how do you teach someone balance? Like, how do you it's personal and unless someone's there, like you mentioned before, like our the people who raise us, the people who are around us in these important times, like we those people have a lot of responsibility, to be honest, to help us see how we can balance ourselves out, and I think it's super important because we all like to have fun, we all like to talk shit and have fun and be stupid men's, but like at the same time, there's a point where you have to be able to say, oh, I'm sorry if that offended you. I didn't mean to do that. Let's talk about it, or let's move on. And like, and then don't do it, and don't do that again unless it's in the right moment. And that's part of it. It's like a comedian. You find when to actually deliver on that punchline because you know by experience that it's going to gain yourself laughter, right? It's like. But learning that balance and using that and as a man, understanding your place in each time, in each moment, it's like it's fluid. It's not so set in stone. And I think that's why when someone's like, well, if you got to be a high value man and then you put your value there in this weird thing, well, if that's what they're hearing, that's all they're gonna have to balance themselves, and there's no balance in that.
Yes. Go ahead, T. You're muted.
Let's keep it real, though. I mean, like, how valid is the manosphere? I mean,
ooh, careful.
Listen, we all know that women dictate who's going to hit that.
Yeah.
Right? They actually run the show.
Facts.
Especially you want to come out here and like, act all like they decide.
You don't see guys in the club going and then
zero up to you
club and drag her into the cave. It doesn't happen that way.
I mean, unless you find some young immature girl who doesn't know who she is, majority of women know automatically and not on that first or second date how quickly she's gonna give it up to that person. You know what I mean? It could be in his hands the whole time. If he says something stupid, she'll be like, fuck, he said something dumb.
Yeah.
Too late. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they control the whole board. Our women have the overabundance of having too many choices in a way, too many options all the time. Us, we have to pretty much put the work in. We gotta make sure that we make all the proper steps, say the right things, validate them, the whole song and dance, hoping for that prize. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like us having game is everything. For them, they can just show up and get what they want. And that's the difference right there.
True. And it also depends on this too, because like here it is. You can have all the game in the world, but you can't bullshit a bullshitter. So if somebody's going to be watching that, like a girl, it's up to the girl too, because the girl's going to be sitting there going, this smells like bullshit. I'm gonna go, and then they leave. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen that plenty of times, and then I've also seen girls finesse dudes. You know what I'm saying? For Cash App stuff or a free meal or something like that at the finest dining spot. You know what I'm saying? So we see. What did you say?
Poor simps.
Yes. poor simps. But here's the thing: there is no word for women who will worship the dude or do anything they can for the guy. You see what I'm saying? There's simps, and they're degraded. If you sit there and go, man, my girl is dope and I got her back, and if she needs something, I got her, because that's what you do, right? But when it comes to girls, there's no version. There's no word for a girl who will do anything for her man. She's just bowing down to the power of his D. I mean
you could say ride or die chick, maybe.
No, but isn't that funny how that is respected? Think about it.
It is.
You see what I'm saying? That is ride or die. That's a ride or die B. You know what I'm saying? But a dude who got his girl's back, let's just say, suddenly he's a simp. Interesting.
That's fine. I'll be a simp if that's if that's what some asshole calls like a person who respects someone's mind and soul and body. Like I guess I'm a simp.
Well, I don't think it's
that's different though. I want to say that.
A little different.
I know it is. But honestly, the only way I know of this term is by being called it. I've been called it on like, stupid other things that and it's like, hold up. I'm in those moments, I'm being called a simp because I'm like, let her speak, let her talk, let her, stop being an asshole.
It's like, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. So because I respect her.
Yeah.
Now if you're being finessed and you don't know, then yes, you a simp. But if you are just somebody who has got your girl,
what's finessed? Please educate me on it.
Oh, okay, like conned, like when you're getting conned into something. Like you are, like for example, you are paying all of her bills and all that stuff. You're doing all this stuff, but you still ain't been with her in the biblical sense, and she's still finessing you or conning you out of your money, but you've never been in a relationship really with her. It's just a financial transaction. You a simp. You's a simp. But some people have taken the simpisms
too far.
Too far. Exactly. And have clicked and dragged it over to men who just have their woman's back, or men who just take care of their partner. Suddenly, oh, you a simp. Wait a second. This is the love of my life. What are you talking about? I got her back. And
and take care of. What does take care of really mean? It's like, you mean be in a relationship with them? And like, sometimes if I got it, I got it. And I mean, it's not, it's like, it's so stupid in my mind. It just seems stupid to actually play that route. Like to even go into that mindset, you've already kind of, you can't talk about relationships then, because you're just going to be, I don't know. Sorry, I don't have the right words for it. It just frustrates me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that like sipping, like, so when you put that PUSSY on the pedestal, that could be sipping right there, because that's too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to, she can do no wrong, I would say, and you pulling out all the punches, flowers and dinners and taking her. Like, you should give it minimum back to you. So that's the problem right there with simping. It's too much of her, not enough of you.
Especially if the guy has no clue that he's being finessed. If he really thinks that at some point they're going to make sweet, sweet love in his little, Lord of the Rings dungeon with all of his Lord of the Rings memorabilia, around them type thing, then if he's really hoping for that to ever happen and it never does, yet he's still spending that money on that person, that's a simp. You see what I'm saying? That's a full-on simp.
Yeah.
But having your girl's back that you are in a romantic relationship with is another thing. But dudes who will go out of their way to just Cash App somebody, you know what I mean? Just because she looks good, that is a full-on, that's some simpish ways for sure.
Now I have a question. Do you so now okay, this is like ask Pascal moment. Okay, because I
yay.
So
once in a while.
There was a really beautiful woman that I became attracted to.
Ooh, we're getting okay. Come on.
And I we were in the pandemic was happening. It was like full on, and we're all just trying to connect in different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we get into we just start flirting, whatever, and somebody in my community, so I know them. But in this way, it was like something had changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were struggling. They also wanted to figure out, because they're a performer too, and they're out in the clubs dancing and stuff, and so it's like they can't dance. There's no dancing happening, and I'm talking just like go-go dancing and stuff like that, like not stripping. And so they needed to learn some skills, and I had a gift. I gave a gift of masterclass to learn these skills. Well, this person actually went on to start an OnlyFans, and they're making good money now, and they're doing just fine. Now,
oh wow.
I think I was hoping that something would come of it. Therefore, I think I fell into a trap. But that's only because I think of that, because I wanted to turn into something. Therefore, I felt like I almost paid for it. Now, I didn't feel that in the moment, but it was after I did it that I felt this way.
Yeah. It's usually that's usually how it goes, right?
So, but at the same time, the actual act of me giving that gift was based on this me having taken the class on photography, learning the lights, learning what cameras were, learning the lenses, learning from this masterclass, and being like, here, it's a gift. You go do it, crush it.
So in other words, you were just giving this person the link to the stuff. This wasn't you.
No, I bought it for them. No, I bought it for them.
Oh,
it was like $40 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you got it, what happened? Or as soon as you gave it to her or them, what happened?
They
just disappeared on you?
Yeah, they went and got married in Colorado.
Ouch.
But it's not ouch, because I made the mistake of sort of not
doing your due diligence.
I didn't follow my protocol that I usually would have. Like I stepped out of myself in this moment, because I don't know whether it was because I was just really lonely, because we're not allowed to see anybody and all this stuff, and who knows. But I feel like I'm aware enough to be like, at least after the fact, maybe I got had, but do I really care about it? I'm not sure. I just feel a little stupid. Maybe.
I got a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So real quick, you only met this person online, yes or no?
No.
So you met this person in person?
Yeah.
Okay. So
for years, they've been a performer in our community for years. So I know them through their friends too.
Okay. Wait a second though. So you've known this person for years, and yet you didn't know that they were engaged? No,
that's the funny thing, is that they I don't think anybody knew. I don't even think that they went. Basically what happened is they went on a trip during this whole thing to see a friend who ended up proposing and doing this whole thing, and she was just like, yeah. So it was sort of a surprise for them too. That said, that was just sort of a random blowout thing. But at the same time, like, no, we were flirting back and forth for quite some time, a couple months. But the fact is that because of the lockdown, we weren't actually able to hang out, or at least that's what I thought.
Well, apparently she was hanging out with somebody.
I think I was wrong.
Okay, so here it is. You did that kind gesture. It's only $40. It ain't nothing, but at the same time, it was still $40. You went out of your way. You gifted this person that thing. They are a performer. What kind of performer were they before they went into OnlyFans? I'm assuming when you say that she's a performer, she might be an exotic dancer.
No. Actually, just a really incredible dancer that just kicks ass. Like, it's just a dancer at for she'll get hired for big festivals to dance on stage and stuff and do stuff like that. Like,
Gotcha.
not necessarily stripping. And honestly, her OnlyFans is really it's really tame, and it's mostly just kick-ass pictures of her looking really good.
Okay.
It's not super sexual, you know what I mean?
Right. But she's finding a way to monetize.
Yeah. But she's
a performer and all that stuff. So
and she's growing. She's growing into it being a little bit more risque, but that's because she's more comfortable with it in that way.
Right. And it probably will, as it grows, it will most likely, she probably will eventually gravitate towards sexually explicit photos and stuff soon too. Obviously, if she's going to be jumping on OnlyFans, she could easily start a YouTube channel and a Patreon, and she would have been just fine. She went over to OnlyFans for a very reason. She's trying to build up enough courage to do so, and she will so very, very soon. So let me answer your question. Okay, here it is. I don't entirely call you a simp, because here's the thing. You only did one thing. You gifted her one little thing. It was $40. Yeah. It's not like you went over to her and go, brand new car. You didn't do any of that stuff. You just gave her a $40 thing. Who gives us? You know what I mean? Plenty of people bought people groceries for $40. So it ain't nothing. You did help invest into the business in which she is getting into right now. It is messed up that she didn't tell you that she got a man or a woman or whatever she got going on. But at the same time, you may have been lightly finessed, but you were finessed, but I don't call you. I would not say that you're a simp. A simp is somebody who will literally go in and keep feeding them stuff, unbeknownst, just blindly giving it to them because they think and they are hoping that there will be some sort of sexual encounter or sexual gratification at the end of the thing. They keep feeding the thing. They keep buying their ish. They keep doing that stuff because they hope, because they're going, oh, thank you so much, Tommy. And they're like, oh my God, she loves me. Oh, if I keep feeding her, if I keep giving her this stuff, she'll eventually be mine. And it's not like that. You did it once. You found out that she was engaged. You got finessed. Okay.
And then I ran away the other way.
It's simp light. It's simp.
Oh, cool. I'll take that. Okay. I'll take that light connotation.
You learn from your mistake. You didn't go and find another dancer. You know what I'm saying? And go, oh, she got a this, that, and the third. Let me go and feed her money so she can give me love. No, there's a lot of dudes out there.
It had little to do with the fact that she was a dancer. It had little to do with any of that stuff. I just thought she was really funny. And
and you were attracted. Yeah, and you were attracted to her, and you were hoping to get her attention by doing this. And also, because we were in lockdown and we can't see each other and all that stuff, you're going, here's this one little tiny gift that I'm going to give you.
Yeah,
I can send this to you digitally. We don't have to meet at a bar. We could talk online, all that stuff. So here's my way of saying, hey, because if you really think about it, there are plenty of dudes that take a girl out and spend more money on that one night than $40. So the fact that you did that, it's simp light, but I wouldn't sit there and say that you were full on simp. She may have finessed you, right? Because it is kind of wrong that she suddenly is engaged out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Kind of messed up, but I wouldn't sit there and say it's a full on simp.
Well, so the interesting thing that I learned was 10 years ago, had this happened, I probably would have gotten really pissed at her. I probably would have said a bunch of things I regret saying. I probably would have been kind of an asshole, to be honest.
Right.
But instead this time I was like, oh, and I felt a little dumb. I felt a little dumb. Of
course. And yes, you should feel a little dumb.
And I told her that.
You expressed your damn.
No, hold on. I told her that I felt a little taken aback by all of a sudden finding out she was literally like getting married, and or getting engaged, and I just thought, and she's like, yeah, I didn't know either. You shouldn't feel dumb. It's something that just happened in the moment. I still felt dumb,
but she obviously was still in a relationship with that person. You see what I'm saying? She was still in a relationship. You can't just suddenly walk down the street and have some random dude go, will you marry me? You were obviously with this person in an intimate fashion, and suddenly it was the right time to sit there. And ask to propose. She wouldn't have said yes to just some random some rando on the street. So she was already in this relationship, but she was also building a fake emotional relationship with you via online. So that would piss any person off. But also at the same time, you take that as a learning experience. You take that as a learning lesson, and you just, you play things close to the chest and make sure that you're not getting finessed. There's a lot of things that can happen via online. We see this every day where people are conning each other for a couple bucks here and there. You see what I'm saying? Shoot, there was a video that I didn't do, but was covered by many other commentators. Real quick story of a woman who was posing that she had 3 children and she was broke as hell, and that she was selling all of her stuff so that she can so she could put this fake thing online, create a GoFundMe account, so that, because she was like, I work, or I just lost my job, I have 3 children, I just sold all my stuff in my home, I need help. She starts a GoFundMe account. CNN and Corey Bush picked this freaking story up because they believe that she's telling the truth. They make like over 6 figures off of this GoFundMe account, only to find out that the woman didn't even bear these children. These are her man's babies. And she's faking this whole thing, acting like these are her children, that she bore these children. You see what I'm saying? And this is all online. You feel me? So there's all kinds of crazy stuff of people finessing each other for a buck. It is insane. So I wouldn't sit here and say that, you are not the first, and you are most definitely not the last guy or person that will get finessed by somebody because they wanted to get.
I'm sure I'll get finessed again.
Trust me.
I'm sure I'll get finessed again.
No, you won't.
Maybe.
Hey, I'm going to speak it into existence. It won't happen because you're going to be smarter the next time. You see what I'm saying? You take it as a teachable moment. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you keep it moving. But then you realize, oh, wait a second. There's something called human interaction that can happen person to person, and not trying to create relationships with people online, because you never know what they're doing when they turn off the cameras, when they turn off the computers. You see what I'm saying? You just never know. You've seen the show Catfish? Those things are real. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I wouldn't kill yourself. I wouldn't sit here and be upset over this situation. You learn from it, and you move on from it. You know what I mean? You're a good dude. I see that. You know what I mean? I see your vibe. I know your intentions are always good. And you just did a nice thing for somebody. Take that as that thing, and just go with it. But anyway,
thanks, Pascal.
Hey, anytime, Sidecar Tommy. I appreciate you asking the question. You know what I mean? I wish there people do that stuff more often. You know what I mean? Other than, what are your thoughts on critical race theory? I mean,
yeah.
I want to talk about that stuff all day long too, but I'm like, man.
Well, I was gonna say you have the you should have a scheduled Ask Pascal.
Yeah,
show,
I need to do that. I need to do that
because this is actually really important stuff to talk about. I think a lot of people need to hear some of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about talking about relationships. I feel like I have opposing views than what you see in the manosphere, and some coincide with that sphere, and some don't, as you guys already know this. But I'm always down to talk about these things and be real. You know what I mean? Like I said, I love helping people, and I love being able to talk to people, and not sitting here saying Tommy needs help. I mean, clearly, look at his background; he don't need no help.
Well, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're doing more than just fine. Love the background, by the way. Real talk.
Thank you.
Looks clean as hell.
If you want to see how it gets used, you can go to twitch.tv beats_antique and catch me live sometime.
There you go.
Showing you how to produce music and make beats and do all that stuff. Find your creativity.
Yeah, man, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So yeah, I'll definitely, you got to send me that stuff for sure. And this is something I think I want to do more often. It's nice to have these brain these breaks a little bit from the craziness that we.
Well, also, Pascal, you are hilarious. You are hilarious. Oh my God, the shows where you start talking about poop and stuff, and just when you turn into the 13-year-old Pascal, like that's some real, like it's so funny. I mean, there's been some moments on like some really serious shows where literally at the end I'm like laughing so hard, and I'm already at my studio, so people who are also working here are like, what are you watching? I'm like, I can't even describe how funny it is. The thing is you are a really, really talented, funny, your voice is awesome. You have a personality, you have a you have a presence with you that does show the spectrum. It does show like you're the 13-year-old little boy in you, and also the adult who's taking care of business, and so I just think it's interesting that for the predominance of what I've seen from you, it's been a lot of serious stuff, a lot of really hard, serious, and very important stuff takes place on this show. And
wow,
it's just but with that comes this other thing, and you're funny and you're talented, you've got a great voice. So
wow, man,
if you get going live, if this whole thing opens up and you start doing a show with live music and stuff, I want to come through for sure.
I'm glad that you said that. Actually, hold up. Now I got to pause this damn music. I want to leave. No. Hold on.
You're gonna have to disconnect me if you want to do that.
No. I'm glad that you say that, because I do have a little bit of an announcement to make. I wasn't going to say anything yet because I'm still in the middle of doing it, but you said it, so I'm going to say it now. Yes, I am in the middle of rebooting my late night show in its full capacity, meaning the desk, the couch, the band. I am going to be doing live music as well, showcasing live music or live bands, live performers, etc. Performancers. You see what I was trying to do? Performers and all that. So the late night show soon will be morphing into something completely different. But I am looking for bands, artists, and all that to perform on the show, whether it's pre-recorded and we play it at the end of the show. I'm down for that. I mean, I'm already recording performances by other artists or getting recordings from other artists for this, because I know we still are locked up right now. But yeah, I am looking for that for sure, Tommy.
Nice.
So just so you know, and I know that where are you stationed at again? Where are you at?
Oakland, California.
Ooh, you in the Cali. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a whole lot of mother lovers out there that are probably wanting to get showcased or do a performance and all that stuff. And I'm saying this out to everybody out here too that are watching the show right now. My evening shows are going to be changing for the better. We're still the same cast and crew, still the same crazy people, just a little bit different. And I am trying to bring that varietal side of it as well. So we're bringing in skits, we're doing all that stuff, but I also am looking for live performances. But I'm looking for stuff that is professional, that looks good, not just shot on a phone and it's all reverb and bouncy and all that crap. No, not like a video that you shot on your phone that was a concert. You know what I mean? I'm looking for actual people that are interested in putting in the time, putting in those performances, because then we put those they'll be put onto my late night show. Nice. So that is what I'm looking for. So Tommy, I'm saying that out loud to you. I'm definitely looking for that kind of stuff. So we should definitely chop it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if anyone, I'm really versed in audio and video stuff for mostly for musicians that are trying to share their music and share their art, but also like if anybody ever needs any advice of gear and what to do and how to do it and how to make it work, I'm somebody that they can use as a resource for sure.
Yeah. And I that's the thing, like, please contact Sidecar Tommy. He's very, very talented. And like I said, I am looking for those things all day long. I'm looking for content and music for sure. Bands, hip hop, rock, it doesn't matter. If it's good, if it sounds good and it is good and it looks good, then I'm all about bringing it onto my late night show. So just so you guys know, that's what I'm in the middle of doing right now. That's why the shows have been the night shows have been very sporadic recently, because I've been doing a lot of taping and trying to get things going for my late night show, for this new version of the late night show. So there it is. Okay. So I'm going to continue the music so we can get back to closing the F out. I appreciate everybody for being on. Sidecar Tommy, thank you so much for being on, bro. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. T. Also,
you're welcome.
I'm forgetting his name now. I forgot his name.
Behavior. Was it bad behavior?
I feel like an ass. I'm sorry. And then Laura Estrada, thank you so much for all y'all for coming on and chopping it up with us. It really does mean a lot. Okay. It is time to get moving. But like I said, if you guys liked this, please be sure to hit that like button down below. Show the love. You know what I'm saying? If you can, we do have our Patreon. All right. Shameless plug. We kind of have to do it. It's the only way we can keep these lights on. So please join our Patreon. Some really great content's going to be coming out here later this week. So please be sure to go over to patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Join over there. There's multi-tiers. I understand you might go, oh, I can't afford that one, but I can do this one. Please, any dollar, any patron will be greatly appreciated. We do also have our membership here on the YouTube channel as well. So please click that join button as well. It's only $4.99 a month, but it helps us keep fueling this show so we can keep giving you your pop culture, your controversies, and your conversations for the day. Anyway, it is time to get going, guys. I appreciate all y'all for being on. You guys are really amazing. I promise I will be doing more of this kind of stuff here in the very, very near future. Okay. A lot sooner than you know. Let's just say that. Seems to be a good one. So let's keep it rolling, shall we? Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Oh, I'll be on tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with comedian Libby Higgins. She's got a new movie out on Amazon Prime. Just watched it last night. Pretty wild and crazy. We're going to be talking about that tonight as well. So tune in at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall, Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.